Hey girl, welcome to the Girl Evolve podcast, and I'm so excited about today's episode. As you can see today, I have my iPad, meaning I have some notes for you. So get a pen, get a paper, and let's get right into this. So girl, as you can see from the title, today we are talking about perspective. We are talking about how to see things through a different perspective and how that is really the secret to living a happy life. Really and truly, the way you see things determine how you respond to it, and your response to a situation literally shapes your reality. I have 4 main points that I want to share with you today. Like I said, take a pen, take a paper, and make sure you take some notes from this video. Number 1 is that your thoughts shape your reality. Not necessarily directly, like if I'm thinking, oh, I'm rich, but I never take any action. In fact, no. Let me use a different example. Let's say I'm thinking, oh, I'm skinny, I have 6 packs, I'm this, I'm that, but I don't take action, then my thoughts are not going to shape my reality in that sense. Your mind is like a filter. Whatever you believe about yourself is literally what you will experience, and nothing that is outside of you can change that. When life deals certain cards to you and it's just absolutely painful or whatever, I want you to know that in that moment you still have the chance and the power to choose to see that situation differently. Is it always easy? No. And most times it's always in hindsight that you're able to see a situation from a different perspective. An example that I'll use is when I got fired from my job a year or 2 ago now. As of the time where it happened, I felt like that was the end. I was like, this was a very well-paying job, remote, it's in tech. How am I ever going to come back from this? And that leads me to make a point in saying that the title of this video, I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm really leaning towards you can come back from anything, because you can come back from anything if you decide to see everything from a different perspective. If you're not seeing things from a perspective that serves you, then you are doing yourself a great disservice. It doesn't mean that the situation that you may be in may not be painful or may not be difficult or whatever, but if you choose to see it like that, you will continue to experience that, and it will be very hard for you to come out of it. From now on, be conscious about the thoughts that you're thinking, because like I said, your mind is a filter. Whatever you believe about yourself is what you're going to experience, and nothing that is outside of you is ever going to change that. For example, in Numbers 13 verse 33, 10 of the Israelites went to spy on the land that God was going to give them. Some of them saw themselves as, oh my God, we're just grasshoppers in these people's eyes. These people will literally kill us, they'll stomp us, they'll destroy us, like they are big, whatever. But Joshua and Caleb saw it as an opportunity for God to show himself strong. So it wasn't necessarily even about them. But then we can see how these other people, they saw themselves as small. They already saw themselves as defeated before they even attempted to do anything. So the way you see yourself is very important. The lens through which you see yourself is very, very important. That's point number 1. And I actually have more things to share with you. 2 people can experience the same event but have completely different outcomes because of how they perceive the situation. How are you seeing that particular situation? What stories are you telling yourself about the situation that you are in? And is it serving you? Is it giving you feelings of joy, of hope, or is it giving you feelings of, oh my God, this is the end, I'm depressed? You gotta check that. Point number 2 is what you focus on will continue to expand. Your brain, or our brain, is always looking for evidence. And I want to expound on that by saying that what you say and what you focus on is like a command that you are giving to your brain. And as you go through the day, your brain will just be trying to find different evidences to validate that thing that you said, or the thoughts that you had, or that thing that you focused on. An example would be, let's say you wake up tomorrow is Monday. People hate Mondays. Me, I don't say such things. I don't say, oh my God, I hate Monday. Nah, all those things are just, you make the laws of your life, you make the rules of your life. So if you believe that Mondays are just horrible, again, back to what I said, what you believe is what you will experience. It is what will be true for you. Nothing is true except what your subconscious mind believes to be true for you. So I don't believe that Mondays are bad days, terrible. I don't have those beliefs, but that's just by the way. You can wake up tomorrow and say, oh my God, it's Monday, today is going to be stressful. You can think about the number of things that you have to do in a day and just go, oh my God, today is just going to be a bad day, it's going to be stressful. Or you wake up and it's snowing, because it's winter where I am. It's snowing, it's raining, it's cloudy, there's no sunshine, not even a lick of sunshine. And you just conclude and decide that today is just going to be a terrible day. As you go through the day, your brain will notice every minor inconvenience that will validate that thing you said in the morning or that thought that you had. You can change it, yes, but until you reframe and reprogram your mind about that day, your mind or your brain will continue to find evidences to validate the fact that today is a stressful day, today is a horrible day, blah, 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 blah. On the flip side, if you wake up and say, you know what, today is going to be a good day. Yeah, I have this and this and this to do, but it's going to be a good day. I'm grateful that I'm alive. Like you're taking a different approach on that, and you see that as you go through the day, your brain in the same way will find evidences to validate that and give you that. That's how the universe works, whether you like it or not. Nothing about that is changing today or tomorrow, because yeah, God has set it in motion. That was point 2. What you focus on will continue to expand. What are you focusing on as we're entering a new week? Today is Sunday, so we're entering a new week. What are you thinking? What are you focusing on? Are you just like, oh my God, I have this and that? Or are you just taking it one day at a time and thanking God that you are alive and counting your blessings? Guys, don't forget to count your blessings, because as for negativity, it's all around you, like it's everywhere. So remember to count your blessings. Number 3 is that your perspective determines your emotions. If you don't hear anything from this video, just this third point is something that I really want you to grasp. Emotions are the language of the spirit. Even when you pray, and yeah, this is a hill that I'm willing to die on. Whoever is coming for me, come for me. When you pray and you're just, oh God, you're saying whatever you're saying, if there is no emotions backed to that thing that you're saying, nothing is going to change. You are not going to see it in your desired reality. There has to be an emotional charge to everything. And that's literally what happens when something negative. Me, I don't classify anything or categorize anything as good or bad, negative, positive. That's just an illusion that we have because we live in this 3-dimensional world. But when you transcend outside of the physical world, nothing is separate. Everything is one. So there is no good, there's no bad, but human beings and our egos will not allow us to conceptualize that. But like I said, how you're seeing everything, if you see a particular situation as bad, as negative, as this, what are the emotions that are going to follow? Sadness, maybe anger, distress, frustration, and all that. And all that will lead you to take certain actions, like staying in your room, not wanting to brush your teeth, whatever. So you see how it's a domino effect, and it all starts with the mind and how you are viewing that particular situation. The way you see things affects how you feel, which determines what you do. The way you see things affects how you feel, which determines what you do. So you have to make sure that you're getting your mind right. You are being conscious of the perspective through which you are seeing everything, and even the perspective through which you are seeing yourself. If you see something as a personal attack, you will feel defeated and you will give up. That's an example. It's a domino effect. That's why it's so important. I literally have it here. Guys, I really, really, really want you to get this. When you have time, sit down and reflect on a situation that happened where you felt like, oh my God, this was bad, that led you to feel sad and feel defeated. And what did you do when you felt those emotions? You probably didn't want to go out. You probably didn't want to be your usual bubbly self. It's very important to see things the way God sees it. That's point number 4. God is not confined in our 3-dimensional world like we are, and you are not confined either. That's why you have your mind. You can imagine, you can dream, like you can zoom out of everything. Because when life gets overwhelming, it's very, very easy for you to feel frustrated, for you to feel so suffocated and feel like, oh my God, this is the end. But when you're able to tap into God who is inside of you and able to see things from that higher perspective, it literally changes everything. It's something that you have to practice. It's a muscle that you have to work. Being able to zoom out of your current circumstance and realizing that there's many more possibilities, there's many more outcomes that could come as a result of whatever it is that you are feeling right now. So learn to see things from God's perspectives. You can't control what happens to you. You can't control the cards that life deals to you. Unfortunately, you can't. And that's one thing that personally I struggled with a lot, because I'm somebody that likes to be in control. I'm someone that really likes certainty. Like I like to know that, okay, this is how this one is going to be, like this, like that. But unfortunately, life doesn't work that way, and it's not going to change because you feel like it should work like that. What God has set in motion, He has set in motion. There are principles that govern the universe. There are things that we just simply don't have control over. This led me down a very, very dangerous rabbit hole with my friends. We were literally talking about free will and if free will exists. Guys, stay tuned for this podcast, because you're going to have a good time here and you're going to learn a lot. That was point number 4. Try your best to see everything the way God sees it, from that most high perspective. Zoom out of everything and see how small everything is. Like, guys, the world is literally so big. It's so big. It's very, very easy to get confined in your own mind and feel like, oh my God, you're not the only one going through what you're going through. Zoom out. Just think about how big this world is, how many countries, how many people are in this world, and let that encourage you to, let that encourage you and let that let you know that, yes, you don't necessarily have control of everything that comes your way, but you are in charge of how you see everything, and you determine how your life goes, to be honest, through how you see things. If you decide to see everything as bad, sad, those are the emotions that you're going to have, and you're going to keep taking actions that are in line with that. Life only changes when you change your mindset, when you change your perspective, when you change how you see things. That guy broke up with you. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you are bad or you are not enough. Like, you are the one that is seeing that situation through that lens. What that is just a lens. Just imagine wearing glasses. When you have glasses on and it's medicated or whatever, you see this iPad maybe bigger or whatever. But when you take the glasses off, you will see it differently too. So if you are assuming, or if you are telling yourself that because that friendship didn't work out, that job fell through, you are a failure, you are all those things that we tell ourselves, then that's exactly what you're going to keep experiencing. Because back to point number 2, what you focus on will expand. So focus on the positive. I think as human beings, we've been really wired to find negativity to be normal. It's not. When you're being positive, people will be like, oh, you're being delusional. But when I'm being negative, that one won't make sense. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. If people are saying you're delusional from watching this video and deciding to see everything from a positive perspective, then girl, go be delusional. I'm right there with you. The lens that we see life through is shaped by our past experiences, it's shaped by fear, it's even shaped by things that people say. In the intro video that I posted, I shared how people used to laugh at me a lot because my skin is literally so dark, and how that gave me a new lens to see myself through. And all I had to do was just change my perspective. I had to realize that I have the power over my reality. I don't have to see things the way society, the way fear, the way things that people have said have conditioned me to see it. And you can literally do the same for yourself today after watching this video. So in closing, how do you change your perspective from now on? Now you know this. Now you've understood the importance of the perspective through which you are seeing life and everything through. So how do you change your perspective? Number 1 is through awareness. Awareness is the first step to everything. If you're not aware that you're even seeing things from a warped perspective, then girl, go back and look back and become aware. When you become aware, you ask yourself these questions. What are the type of thoughts that I am entertaining? Or when you think a certain thought, that's the next step. Question the thoughts. When you think a certain thought, ask yourself, is this true? Is that what the Bible says? Is that what God says? I'm going to make an episode about questioning your thoughts and the stories that we tell ourselves literally every day. So number one is to come into awareness and pay attention to the thoughts that you're thinking and question the thoughts. If a thought is not helping you, it's just controlling you, and we're tired of that. Number three is to reframe it. So if you used to think that you are not enough or whatever, start to see it differently. Reframe it. Combat that initial thought. It's a process. It might not happen over a day, but it's something that you have to continue to do, and you have to live consciously. I'm going to make a video on living consciously because a lot of people go through life asleep, and that's like the most dangerous thing that you can do. Number four is to simply declare who God says you are and reject whatever God does not say you are. God doesn't say you are weak. He doesn't say that you're a failure. He doesn't say that you're not enough or you're not pretty. So why entertain those thoughts? Why believe that? That's not what God says. God is your Father, and He made you. He knows you. He knows everything that you're going to be. All we have to do is just to come in alignment into who God says we are and begin to see everything from God's perspective. So girl, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a thing or two or three or four. Let me know in the comments what you learned. Share this video with your girls, and I'll see you in my other video. Until then, keep evolving.